Right guys, we have new tidbits regarding the M2 iPads, ranging from thinner bezels, the 11-inch iPad being neglected, MagSafe support, and more, so let's delve into it. So it's safe to say there's been a roller coaster of leaks with the M2 iPads. Initially we were expecting big changes, then we got case listings that of course suggested the upgrades might not be as major as we thought, and now we have some rumors suggesting that no, the upgrades could actually be pretty big. Actually no, there is a catch, because for fans of the 11-inch, the upgrades actually won't be that major, because we have a report telling us the 11-inch iPad Pro is going to be virtually unchanged apart from the chip. And that is disappointing news, I can't lie, because I do prefer the smaller 11-inch size, but Apple neglecting it and not giving it any features is not a great look, especially when of course the iPad Air 5 is already very similar to the 11-inch Pro, so to differentiate these products, we should get mini LED on the 11-inch or other Pro features. And so yeah, this is a shame. And if I'm being honest, the chip itself's not a massive upgrade. The M1 is still plenty good for the iPad, and so most of you guys should just get that if you want the smaller iPad Pro. But anyways, let's move on to the actual upgrades we're gonna see with the bigger iPads, and that's thinner bezels. So yes, we have two sources telling us the bezels could be 50% thinner on the 12.9-inch size, resulting in a bezel thickness of around 4.9mm. And if you're wondering how that compares to the current iPads, we actually do have a visualization, because Huawei's current Pro tablet does also have 4.9mm bezels, and you can see it's much thinner than the iPad. Now I'm kind of conflicted about this, because on one hand, yes, I know this looks great, this is going to result in the iPad getting a bigger display on the front, and thinner bezels always look more futuristic, but then again, the iPad's bezels do serve a purpose. If you're holding the iPad, the bezel is where you rest your finger, so of course, it being thinner does create more accidental touches. Then again, Apple could improve the palm rejection software they use with iPads, and also one could argue many iPad Pro consumers use these on Magic Keyboards, and so they're rarely holding the iPad. So yeah, I guess overall this is a nice change for the iPads, and it's definitely going to make it look way better. The only thing I'm wondering about is of course the Face ID sensors and the cameras on the front. Where are they going to go if the bezels do get ridiculously thin on this device? Well, that does make me think that maybe we're going to see the island on the iPad. Now yes, I know many of you guys in the comments are not a fan of this, but to be honest, I could see the island being a permanent dock on the iPads, where you can quickly access apps and shortcuts. Essentially what I'm visualizing is a touch bar for the iPads. I think that would be great, and if it allows Apple to bring the camera to landscape orientation, I would be down for this. So yeah, I could see this happening with thinner bezels. Because otherwise, I do kind of find it unrealistic that Apple could give us Face ID sensors and the FaceTime camera within the thinner bezels. And for those wondering what about the Huawei tablet I mentioned with the thin bezels, well, that has a hole punch and also does not have any Face ID sensors. By the way, the fact they use a hole punch does clearly suggest that we could see the island on the iPad. And yeah, generally when the iPhone gets a major change on the front, the iPad's quick to follow suit. And so yes, I really do think we could see the island on the 12.9-inch size. Anyways, I do also want to mention the murmurs regarding a 14-inch iPad could have actually been referring to this 12.9-inch size all along, because if we're getting thinner bezels, I'm sure there's going to be a substantial increase in the display, so maybe Apple's going to give us a 13.5 or 13.6-inch display on the front, they round up to 14 inches. So yeah, that is a very nice change, and it makes me even sadder that we're not getting this on the 11-inch size. However, I do want to mention Majinbu, a pretty credible source, told us about the thinner bezels on the 12.9-inch size months ago, but along with that, he did also say a 14-inch model was in the works, and so yeah, maybe we do get 3 new iPads. I personally don't think we need 3 iPads, especially when the 11-inch is being neglected and is not getting many upgrades in the first place. And so because the iPad Air 5 does exist, I think the 11-inch Pro should be killed off, and instead Apple has a 12.9-inch model with, of course, a larger 14-inch size. Since those using iPads as their sole computers, I'm sure they're going to appreciate a bigger display. Now for those wondering about any durability improvements with the iPads, Apple's not changing the chassis with this. It's going to be the exact same chassis as the current models. That's probably why the 2022 cases work with the 2021 models. And I'm not really happy with that because ever since 2018, the iPads have been bending very easily. So I do think Apple should fix that with either a thicker chassis or, of course, a different material choice. In fact, I believe the Galaxy S8 Ultra with its armor aluminium does not bend, and it's a bigger device. And so yes, I'm still praying there is a material change for these iPads. Now, since the chassis are the same with these iPads, that does mean that the 11-inch is not getting mini LED unfortunately, but also this is not getting mini LED unfortunately, but this does also suggest that maybe we're not getting MagSafe. So yeah, this has been a long pending rumour for the iPads. We're going to see a glass logo on the back that allows for MagSafe charging and also reverse charging on the iPads. And while I'm sure that putting a MagSafe ring in this iPad would increase the thickness, and so the chassis staying the same does suggest we're not getting this. And actually, 9to5Mac also said that with MagSafe we could see bigger batteries. And so yes, I'm sure that if we did see MagSafe, there would be a thicker chassis on this, but the lack of it does suggest we're not getting it. Now, to be honest, I could care less about MagSafe, but the lack of reverse charging on this iPad is kind of a bummer because if you did travel with the iPad, charging your devices off the back of the iPad and using it as a personal power bank would have actually been kind of useful. So yeah, the lack of this is a shame. But for those wanting MagSafe, there is a chance that, of course, Apple gives us the Mac form of MagSafe with a connector on the sides. There has been rumours suggesting this, and this could allow for faster charging on the iPads and also frees up the Type-C port to connect peripherals. I will say though, there has been some cases that have a MagSafe ring on the back, so that could suggest Apple's still somehow going to give us this. But to be honest, I think it's more likely that case manufacturers are just predicting we're going to get this, but they're likely going to be wrong because at the end of the day, case manufacturers base everything off rough CADs and leaks they get. They get no information regarding the products directly from Apple before release. Anyways, that's about it guys, but of course, tell me your thoughts regarding this report in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the video in the link above on details regarding the iPhone 15 series, and on that note, see ya peeps.